Hey guys, Mrs. Blakley here. I am back with chapter 11 of the Boxcar Children, and let me tell you, today's video footage takes place at one of my favorite places on earth. Today I am at Kayak Point Park, and I am sitting by the water at the beach looking at the sparkly blue ocean with the sunshine, and it is just one of my favorite things to do. So I hope you enjoy listening to Chapter 11 of the Boxcar Children and looking at the sparkly blue water and the sunshine with me. Chapter 11. The Doctor Takes a Hand. The days went by happily for the Boxcar Children. They found more treasures in the dump, and Henry worked every day for Dr. Moore. One noon, Henry came home with some new stockings for Benny. Benny was very happy about them and made everyone admire them. And when Jessie looked at the new stockings, she had a happy thought. She carefully washed Benny's old stockings and hung them up to dry. Okay, you guys, stockings? Those are socks. He got new socks. That afternoon, she and Violet sat down with the work bag between them to make a bear for Benny. You must make a tail too, Jessie, begged Benny, watching her put on the arms and the legs and the head. Bears don't have tails, said Jessie. Your old bear didn't have a tail. But this bear must have a tail, replied Benny, knowing that Jessie would put on 2 tails if he asked her to. What kind of tail? Asked Jessie at last. Long and thin, said Benny happily, so I can pull it. Benny, cried Jessie, laughing, but she made a tail long and thin, just as Benny had ordered. What's his name, Jessie? Asked Benny, when at last the bear was handed over to him. I haven't thought about a name, replied Jessie. Why don't you think up a nice name for him? Well, you made him out of my old stockings. Let's name him Stockings. All right, Stockings it is, agreed Jessie, trying not to laugh. And from that day on, the bear's name was Stockings, as long as he lived, and he lived to be very old indeed. One afternoon, Jessie saw how long Benny's hair was getting, and she cut it with Violet's scissors. Benny stood quietly while she did it, but while his sisters were getting supper, he said to himself, Jessie cut my hair. I'll get Violet's scissors and cut Watch's hair. He found Violet's scissors and made Watch lie down on his side. Then he began to cut the hair off. Benny said, Good dog, Watch. You are Jessie's dog, and so I will cut a J in your hair. Hold still now. Watch lay still, and Benny began to cut a J. It was not a very good J, but it looked a little like one. Soon Betty had cut off all the hair on one side with a J in the middle. He stood admiring his work, and just then Jessie came to see what he was doing. Benny, she cried, what are you doing? Then she began to laugh. Oh, Violet, come and see, she called. Watch looks so funny. Jessie laughed and laughed until she almost cried. Violet laughed until she did cry. Then she could not stop crying. She cried and cried. At last Jessie made up her mind that Violet was really sick. You must go to bed, Violet, she said. She helped her carefully into the boxcar and put pine needles all around her and under her. Then she wet a handkerchief in the cold water on the brook and laid it on her little sister's hot head. I wish Henry would come home, said Jessie. What shall we do? When Henry came at last, he looked at Violet and said that maybe she had a cold. Maybe she sat too long by the brook, he said. If Violet is very sick, she ought to go to the hospital, said Jessie. Yes, I know that, said Henry, and we don't want her to go to the hospital if we can help it. We should have to tell her name. Yes, said Jessie, then Grandfather could find us. The 2 older children sat up with Violet. They put cold water on her head, but after dark, Violet shook all over, and Jessie was frightened. She covered Violet all over with pine needles, but still she shook. They could not get her warm. I'm going to get Dr. Moore, said Henry. I'm afraid Violet is very sick. Then Henry started to run. He ran even faster than he had run in the race. Down the hill into the town he ran until he came to Dr. Moore's house. Please come, he cried. Violet is very sick. The doctor said, Come and get into my car. He did not ask Henry which way to go, but the car went up the right road. And when they came to the woods, he said to Henry, Stay here in the car. He ran alone up the hill to the boxcar. It seemed like magic that he knew where to go. When Dr. Moore came back, he was carrying Violet in his arms. Jessie and Benny and Watch came too. They all got into the car. Are you going to take her to the hospital? Asked Henry. No, said Dr. Moore. I'm going to take her to my house. When they stopped at last, Dr. Moore carried Violet into the house and said to his mother, Violet is very sick. We must put her to bed. Mrs. Moore hurried around opening beds and bringing pillows, and Mary came from the kitchen with hot water bottles. After a while, Violet began to get warm. Then Mrs. Moore came to get the other children. "You must stay here all night," she said. She gave Henry and Benny a big bed, and Jessie slept in a little one. But Violet was so sick that the doctor did not go to bed all night. He would not leave her. He sat by her side until 10 o'clock in the morning. Before 10 o'clock, a man came to see the doctor. Mary told him he could wait, so he sat down in the living room. Soon Benny came in. "Where is the doctor?" asked the man crossly. "He is up in Violet's room," answered Benny. "This means $5,000 to him if he will come down," said the man. "Oh, he can't come now," said Benny. "What do you mean, boy?" asked the man. "What is he doing?" "He is taking care of my sister Violet," said Benny. "She is sick." "And you mean he wouldn't leave her even if I gave him $5,000? asked the man. "Yes," answered Benny. "That's what I mean." Then the man said, "You see, I have lost a little boy, and I think the doctor knows where he is. My little boy is just about as old as you are." "Well, if you don't find him, maybe you can have me," remarked Benny. "I like you." "You do?" cried the man. "Come and get up in my lap." Benny climbed into the man's lap. "Have you got a dog?" he asked. "No," said the man. "He is dead now. But you can see him in my watch. Here it is." Benny looked at the dog. "He looks like a very good dog," he said. "I have a dog too. His name is Watch." Just then, Watch came in with Dr. Moore. "Good morning," said Dr. Moore. "Benny, you can go play with Watch." Benny ran out, and the man said, "Dr. Moore, where are my grandchildren?" "That little boy is one of them," said Dr. Moore quietly. "That beautiful little boy," said the man. "Yes," said Dr. Moore. "They are all good children, but they are afraid of you. They are afraid you will find them." "How do you know that?" asked the man. "They have changed their name," said the doctor. He looked at the man in a weird way. "The big boy changed his name on field day. You saw him then." "I saw him? What did he change his name to?" asked the man. "Henry James," said the doctor. "The running boy," cried the man. "The boy who won the free-for-all. I like that boy. So I am his grandfather." I hope you enjoyed Chapter 11 of the Boxcar Children, and I have some extra video footage of a trip I took last week with my family to Larrabee State Park. Larrabee State Park is the first state park in Washington, and I think I've only been there one other time in my life. But check this video footage out I'm going to drop for you because I don't have enough for an entire chapter, but I definitely want you to see it. We saw starfish. We took the paddleboard out and we saw starfish and crab, and it was just such a bonus. We were going to go out on the paddleboards anyways. We were going to enjoy the sunshine. I did not expect to see so many starfish, and they're so pretty and purple. So enjoy that here, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye. Orange. No, I'm not giving you my phone. I see. Right there. I love you and I believe you, but I am not giving you my phone. Right there. I see orange. It's just an orange blob from here, though. So unless you're gonna get me closer, and then I see orange way deep down. Yeah, but this is cooler because it's like right there. Yeah. Give me one more shot. Very cool. Cool like you.
That one's cool right there.
Oh, that one is neat.
I'm getting water all over.
You're getting wet? Spencer, if you pop the paddleboard, we're swimming for it.
Okay. They got paddleboards they can use.
You're like, yo, excuse me.
Did you get a picture of that one?
I'm taking a video.
I like that.
The black seaweed looks like a... Ew, what is it? They're little black shells. Ooh, crab.
Oh, purple starfish. Right there.
Purple starfish.
Oh.
Starfish, more starfish. And creepy black shell barnacles.
I'm gonna get some. Another crab.
Ooh, that's a chunk of... Ooh, lots of starfish. Ooh, chunky.
Oh, another one.
It's huge.
Oh, another one. Another one.
Juicy. Ooh, we got an orange one.
And another one. Oh, and there's one down
They're everywhere. Ooh, look at this one.
Oh, that one's there. Oh, there's another
That's
one.
massive.
I get some seeds.
Dude, they're not seeds. They're shells. Look at the... Look at this one. Oh, they're oh, wow, Spencer, look.
Oh my god.
They're everywhere.
Bro, it's like an iPhone 4, isn't it?
It's not really the point. So look what they like it right there. Look at that. There's like a million of them.
There. Oh my god. Shoddy. Yeah, I know.
And here you have video footage of Oscar and Gabby playing, I believe they called it concentration. I called it patty cake. Either way, they don't love water quite as much as some of the rest of the Blakeleys. So they sat beachside and played games and entertained themselves while I went starfish hunting on my paddleboard. Hey, whatever makes them happy, right? Their happiness is my happiness. Bye, guys.